Okay, I'll pick up from where I left off. So where I left off was I got those guys on the tiles, and I'm gonna check for fun because I was looking at this earlier, and I want to see that these things have what they need. So yeah, unit view has the unit. That's what I wanted to check. So each unit is appropriately associated to the hexes. So the hexes have a reference to the unit that's on top of them, which is good. Yeah, so I got these guys showing up. So what I was going to take a look at now was when I move in game view, when I move my inputs, that blue thing should be moving as well. Because that's what it should be doing. I should be able to move that blue thing so that I can go and select a tile. And when a tile has a character on it, it should select that character. That's what I'm trying to do. So in the board controller, basically, that's the base. And the base always has the ability to select a tile if the actual state calls select tile. So when I'm in select unit, which I was, on click does nothing. On click is mouse click. On move event, on a move event. Now, I'm going to close a couple things here. I'll come back to those movement types because eventually that's the ultimate goal here. Let's get them moving. But input controller. So the input controller is going to take a look at a few things coming in from the input, and based off of what's being input, it will send an event. Right? So on a move event would be basically, I could set it up for it to be like the D-pad. It's also set up for it to be on the joystick, the left joystick on the keypad, but I could also set it for the D-pad itself. But right now, it's looking for probably on horizontal and on vertical. So if I just do a quick search for that, it doesn't pull anything up. Oh, this is the repeater. Let's just look for move event. Here we go. So it looks for horizontal update. Okay, it does a horizontal update and it does a vertical update. I just want to see what these... I was pulling from the repeater. The repeater is just a class that takes in the input. See here? And it'll return the value. And if I hold on to that button, it will start sending events over this rate here. So if I hold on to it every 0.25, it'll send a new event if I hold it. So it checks here each time. If x is not 0, or y is not 0, or n, not or y is not 0, it'll just send a move event. And it'll do this. Yeah, it'll send a move event and it'll send the point value. It'll be a new point of x and y. This is not going to work because I'm going to have to redo. Now it's not squares, it's hexes. So this whole thing needs to be hooked into the camera, and then it's got to look at what the camera angles are. But I can still make sure this works. So on the move event, it'll send a move event. And then in the battle controller, when the battle controller receives a move event, it wants to do this. So okay, this is it here. So I got on move event. So let me try. Something I didn't look at when I was testing was when I push the button, do I get that that debug? So I am on select unit state. I'll just clear everything. See, okay, so the move event is being called when I use the joystick, not the D-pad. So the D-pad's not plugged up for it, but the joystick is, which is great. Now, I am curious because theoretically, the only thing that's not happening right now is the highlighted part is not moving, but the actual data of what's selected should be moving. And that would be on the battle controller. On this position here, I'm not sure, let me check. Select tile. Yeah. This is more of a visualizer. I need to send that to the viewer. But this here updates it to the new position if the key exists. But because the key does not exist, because 0, 0 is here, and when I push up 1, it'll only do +1. So it's targeting around here, and each time it doesn't exist because the actual position here currently is at 0, 0. So when I generate the map, I actually do need to set this to be the right one. Visually, it's setting it to be the first one in the list, but the battle controller is not setting it to be the first one in the list. And because there's no around 0, 0, which is about here, there's also nothing around there. It's always going to be at 0, 0 because it's telling it to go somewhere. It doesn't know where to go. Normally, I would probably want empty data to be here anyways, but right now the list only exists with the existing tiles, with everything else being empty. So let's go ahead and make sure that the battle controller has the first one in the list on the level data that gets loaded. Now that would be done in the creation of it. And the creation of it gets done in the init battle state here. Now, when the init battle state happens, board view, initiate battle board. And I start the coroutine here. This is where I actually tell the list of the battle view what the first one in the thing is. But I never do it for the board controller. So what I could do is I could set the battle controller's current point to be the same point here. And it is public. So what I could do is I could just say, hey, battle controller, your point equals that. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't know if I have a reference to battle controller. Let me go see up here if I do. I don't. I'm wondering if I want to have a reference to it. Because, you know, I am also doing this here. There's a spot where I send an event. Init event. And I'm sending an int over. What I could do is I could actually have this to be a point. This is a spot where I could send data over already. Now it's complaining because I don't have it set up to be a point up here. I have it set to be an int. Because I remember I put that there and I was like, oh, I'll just put anything. And I wasn't planning on sending everything over, but just to keep it the same, I wanted to now. What's it complaining about here? So now I'm sending a point over, right? And here it wants me to do int, but I'll do a point. And I'll rename that to P. Kind of fits a little bit more. Now, what's it complaining about here? E does not exist. No, but maybe P does. And P doesn't even really exist either. Do I have another thing that's complaining about? Let's go to the handler init event right here. Make this a point, and we'll make this a point, right? And down here it's complaining as well, because on init event as well, point, there we go. So that should theoretically push my point all the way through. But even though I am pushing the point all the way through, oh, I lost it already. Here. What we'll do here is before we change the state, we'll go ahead and tell the owner dot position equals point. Why is it complaining? Cannot implicitly convert event args that liquid fire dot data type dot point to that liquid fire data type dot point. It's telling me that it can't convert itself to itself, which is very strange. Because it's the same, but maybe it's because I'm not using data types, but I should be using data types. Yeah. Why? Should I call it a new point? Huh. Why? Oh, no. Owner.pos equals the heck? Why? that's not happy about it either. Does not contain. That doesn't work either. Why not? Let me go see what point is doing. Okay. Look, you're equal to the same thing. Why don't you want to work? Well, I pass a point in here. E.info. Let's try that. .info. Yeah, just strange stuff. I find that strange, but okay. So that should theoretically make it so that the position here will work when I hit play on the battle controller. Right? So right now I am on the game battle controller. It's still at 0, 0. Odd. If I go on board, does board have... Oh no, it doesn't have its position displayed here. But it would be... Two, 5. And it should be 2, 5. But if I move it, nothing. The event is being called. Now, okay, yeah, I was expecting that not to happen with the viewer. But if I click on game now, it's still at 0, 0. This is probably complaining because I don't have a tile select indicator. Not even. I'm going to try something. I'm going to do a debug.log. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, you know what? I'm not even going to change the line. I'm going to put it here. Space here, double dot here. And I'm going to do e.info. And then I'm going to do plus e.info. And I'm going to see what that prints out. I want to see what I'm sending over to the through this here. So we'll start that over. I'm going to clear this just so it's nice and clean. See, I'm sending 0, -1s. That's good. That's what I want to send over. That's excellent. But the position is still 0, 0, which is not good. So that's good. The problem is maybe up here, right here. This should be... I'm going to go ahead and try something here now. I'm going to go debug.log, right? I'm going to do on init event, and I'm going to do p.info plus p.info, right? Whatever this prints should theoretically be what goes into owner.puzz. So when I see on an event p.info, let's go ahead and see. And I should see this before even touching anything, right when I hit play. So let's try and find it. Oh, I don't see it at all. Which is very, very strange, because that's where the next state is being called. How come it's not printing anything? It didn't print a darn thing. Oh, no. Oh, here. Oh, the event's not working. I've been forcing it in without even... What the hell? When I'm down here... Oh, I probably never had a chance just to get there because it went out right away before. Okay, hold on. This will work. This should work. And actually, theoretically, this should be working now too, because I wasn't even getting into the spot where it was doing that. Yeah, there we go. Good. Now what happens when I move? Nothing. But that's because, so what is happening is this is updating, which is excellent. But this is not updating, the visual. But that was expected. Okay. So if the visual is not updating, I need to send events from the states that will speak to the board viewer. Let me just make sure that's what how I want to do it, or if there's another way. You see, all the input events are coming into here. So yeah, that is what I want to do. I want to make sure that the control stays in the battle controller. If I'm in a mode where I can be moving the mouse around or the cursor around and selecting, then I want it to be managed by the controller. And when the controller makes a change that requires a visual change, I'll pass that over onto the board view. So this works. I did not need this here. And I will never need that there, so I'll save that like that. And let's go ahead and take a look here. So this is also working. And I need to select a new tile, which it is doing it. And when I select a new tile, I could theoretically update the viewer. I could do that in the tile select here. Let's take a look here. See, the selection indicator is not something that I'm using in the controller right now. I'm using the board view for this stuff. Center is because it used to be a game object. Right now, the board view is just changing the material of the actual object. So I don't need this here. But I need to tell this do something in mono behavior. Now, how the hell do I do that? Let me see if I could find an example of something like that I've done already. How am I speaking to mono behavior? It could be an event. I could do a tile selection event and pass through the point. You know what I mean? Board view init event. I don't think I need this stuff here actually. I'm curious. I want to take this out because I added that when I was trying to figure out what the heck. Is this needed? I think this one is needed though. Yeah, that one is. Okay. I'm just going to test it to see if when I take those out, if it's still doing the same. Yeah, it still works. Okay, good. Okay. But I can, or can I? Owner dot event maybe. And you know, I could make the selection viewer public because there's no problem with changing the visual. You don't want people hacking it, the data, but they could hack the viewer and it won't give them anything. Unless they want to make it look like something else is highlighted, but it doesn't change anything. Right? So I am making the tile here. Selected color is happening in here. And it's when I do select tile. And it is public. So I could already just say, hey, board view, select tile, point. In the battle controller. Do I have a reference to the board view? I do. And it's called board. So what I could do is write in the state. Right here. Or I could do it in the select tile. I could say, hey, that's your new position, and I could do owner dot board dot select tile P. Now, theoretically, it should work. It does. Awesome. Now, obviously, I need to change the color back away to the normal color of the ones that I'm not selecting. But that is working well. I want to see default color is white. That's fine, default color. So when I go select tile here, wherever that is again, geez, I wish I had I have to start closing some of these because this stuff is getting too long. But you know, it's useful because sometimes I'm looking for things. I'm not going to use that. Get match, no. Game, get this, no. Search, not right now. Clear search. Get tile, no. Swap reference, select tile. Okay, here we go. Oh, that does a deselect tile. But there's not a normal deselect tile. Right, if I did a, these are tiles for multiple in a list. But what I could do is just take that S out of the end there. And we'll set that to default color. And what we'll do is the P. Yeah, that's good. And what I'll do here is I will not only in the select tile, I'll do it like this. There's kind of logically if you're selecting one, you're deselecting another. But I might have to separate these up and something. But that should work. At some point too, you don't want to over-engineer it. Now it's not doing a damn thing. Oh, I know why. Order of operations. This needs to go first. There we go. Well, it should deselect the previous one. So am I holding on to the previous one? Probably not. Is there, what am I looking for? Selected tile. Where's the cannoli? Oh, I'm just passing that in. I'm not actually holding on to a previous tile. What about here? Do I have a previous tile? I have a point. I have a current tile. I don't have a previous tile. But you know, thinking about it, maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe, am I holding on to a point at all up in here? I don't think I am. Okay, well, maybe what I could do. It's not hard to fix. I'm just trying to think about what's the best way to do it. Because I could just code it, but how do I want to code it? Wait. I'm calling it. I gotta find where I'm calling it. Here? No. Where's select tile? Select tile. Position equals this now. However, I could say before changing I can go owner dot position. No, owner dot battle. No, what's it called? Board view, board dot deselect tile. And I'll do owner dot position. Right? I'm going to deselect that tile. And then I'll apply the P. And then yeah, I'll do that. And I just, you know, just because I'm picky and stuff, we'll do it like that. That won't change anything. And we'll do board view. So the select tile part here where I do this, I don't need to do this now because I'm calling each one individually. Deselect and select from the battle controller. Let's try this. There we go. And it's moving, but it's not doing at all what I want it to be doing. See here it's going, see when I go left and right on the joystick, it's going up left and right here. But if I go to a spot here where I have room to go left and right, and I rotate this many degrees, and I go left and right, it's still going up and down. I want that to go in the same direction as where the camera will be. So there's going to be a little bit of math there and a little bit of messing around getting that to work. But that's okay. I mean, I could still test that, and that making it work for the camera angle will be another little thing. But hey, I'm able to do that, so that's great. Now that I could move my tile and select a tile and all that, well, I can't select it, but I need to implement the select part so that I could select a tile with a unit on it. So to do that, I'm just going to go back to my code, and I want to see what I do have at this time. So we'll go to the battle controller. Select tile is being done. Here. Now, selecting a tile is kind of like more like a hovering over a tile. It's not necessarily selecting it. But when I do an on fire event, if content does not equal, no, content is a unit view. So if the unit view is not null, meaning there's a unit on that tile, and I do have a current tile somewhere, don't I? Owner.current tile. Get tile position. I don't know when this is happening. I guess at any time. I guess when this gets looked at, it does this. This bit here is new for me. But I mean, that would be logical. We'll move forward with thinking of that if that's the case. So when I want you to get the tile and I want you to get the unit view. I wanted to make sure it returns a tile view though. What is it returning? Position. What is get tile? Oh yeah, it should return a tile view. Okay, yeah. So it should have the unit in there if there is any. Unit view. Okay. Now, if content is null, meaning, or is not null, meaning there is somebody there, owner.current unit equals content get component unit. I place that unit in the battle controller. And what I also do is I change the state machine to move target state. Good. That's all really good. So on a fire event, I should theoretically, when I have a unit tile selected, it should place the unit view of that unit here. I'm going to go ahead and take a look if that does do that, because that's what it should be doing. Now, on here, do I have a unit view current unit? Yeah, and it should. So when I hit play, current unit will have nothing. When I move around and I do a fire event, current unit should fill up with something. And it does. Excellent. And I want to make sure that's the second one in the middle. So when I click on this, and I click on this, and it is the second one in the middle. Good. So I effectively grabbed that unit when I clicked on that tile. Good. I'm out of drink. I'm going to get another drink. It is 8:25. I have to be gone soon. But we have a selected character. Good. So let's go take a look at what a selected character, should have, what state it should be in. So you select the character. Now you want to move target. So move target is going to give me the chance to now choose another tile, and that will be where the character is intended to move. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now let's give the move target state a more complete implementation. This state becomes active after the game has decided what unit should take its turn. It begins by highlighting the tile within the unit's movement range and exists when good. So, you know, I'm not even going to bother a lot with any of this. I'm going to go straight up, copy all of it, and I'm just going to put it in, and we're going to make it work. Move target, I think it was called. This is select unit. Let's move target there. It is right here. I don't know. I'll just do the whole thing here there. I'll fix the bugs. It's going to be a private class. So all this stuff here is all protected. I don't want people messing around with. Whoa, everything broke. There. Okay. I'm curious. Let me see what it was like before. What am I doing here? On enter, I'm doing stuff. On exit, I'm deselecting. On move, I'm highlighting new ones. And on fire, I'm starting the move sequence state. What was it before? On fire, move sequence. On move, yeah. I might just do this, and then I might just manually do each one instead of just doing everything all over again. So, okay, let's take a look. On enter, I just say move target state. I go into it. That's cool. That just shows me when I'm debugging that I'm in there where I'm expecting to be. Besides that, I am calling a base enter. I don't know why I have been doing that, and I don't know if that's important. It might not be. I should test the difference and see. Because that's what this one has, and I don't necessarily do everything that this one has. So that might be kind of like a ghost of something from the past, you know, that I don't need. Owner current unit get component movement. Oh yeah. On enter I do that. So let's do this. See what it says. Yeah, it's got no problem with it. Good. Mover. Get tiles in range. Oh, here we go. So this here is supposed to highlight everything that where he could move. So what I do is I grab all the tiles in range. which would explain why I do need this list here. And mover doesn't seem to have get tiles in range, so I'll have to do that. Okay. Now, do I have an on exit? I don't seem to have an exit here, but we're going to put one. Right, owner dot board, and I want to deselect the tiles. And tiles goes back to null. Now, on move, I don't know why these are public. Are my other ones public? They are. Should they be? The class is private, but the functions are public. I'm not sure about that one. Anyways. I kind of feel like it shouldn't be the case, but okay. Now, I have an on move event, on fire event, on tile hover event, and an on init event. I don't need an on init event. Is that going to complain? It is. Why? No, it's not. Those were already there. Okay. So point E and a point I, integer on fire, good. We'll keep the on the hover, it's fine. I'll do that stuff later. Right now I'm doing the controller stuff mostly, but I want controls for, you know, mouse input and keyboard and all that. Okay, so besides that, let me just make sure on move event. I'm selecting the tile, that's good. And then on fire event, yeah, if this and that and this and that and this and that there. And it's going to complain. Because it's asking for tiles. If tiles.contains. Yeah. From tile view to tile. See, that's something I've been doing, and I was planning on changing that, but I was just continuing with it because it was working for now. But tile view to tile, I can't. And up here, I'm storing a tile view and a unit view. What I really want to be doing is just holding the unit and the tile, not the view. The difference is one is just the data. And I want everything on this side to be just the data. But for now, we'll do the view, and I'll change that later. Because I have to figure out how I'm going to convert the view to the data. I have to do an extra function for it, and I don't want to put my head on that right now. So yeah, so instead of being a list of tiles, it'll be a list of tile view. There we go. So that right away fixed that. Owner dot change state. Now, yeah, owner dot state machine. State machine. Maybe I don't know how to spell it. There. Move sequence state does not exist yet, though, so I'll just make one. I'm wondering what's going to happen with this one. Get tiles in range, because, yeah, where am I in now? I'm in a movement. Okay, it's in the movement. That's good. So we're going to start getting the script that matter to work good here. Again, this could be tile, not tile view, but okay. Board.search unit view.tileview. Expand search. Okay, let's try and figure out what's going on here. Expand search. From to. Doesn't need values? It's not giving me an error. Search. Is there a filter in here? Yeah, there is a filter. I need a filter. Traverse. Oh, board.search. Let's go into here. Hex map I don't need. This I don't need. Let's just tidy it up a tiny bit. Spawn units, that's good. Init, we know that's all good. Initiate board, that's also good. Create, never gets used, but it's there. Deselect, select, deselect, select. Swap reference, get tile, search. Whoa, okay, here we go. Well, there's no errors. I really would like for this to be more in the controller though. Like I wanted to go through this like data. Like do its calculations, figure it all out using just data. And that's what it's going to do here. It's just going to look at the data. So I'm going to have to pass that over into the battle controller, I think. Okay, what are we doing? It returns a list of tile views. You give it the start tile. Right. You know what? It might already be working. I'm not seeing any errors anyway. Let's see what it does. The unit itself has five units. Oh, I got an error. Do I have an error? Where the hell's the error? No, that was random. Okay. So the units themselves, when I select it, has like a move distance of 5. So it should theoretically. Oh, it didn't do anything. And it's not even calling a fire event anymore. Is my current unit is selected. Oh, I did go into move target state. So I'm thinking it's just the viewer. I think I have it selected, but the viewer is not representing that. Let me try something real quick. Move target state. Enter and move target state. Movement mover, owner, current unit, get movement. So that's good. Tiles equals mover. Get tiles in range. So that'll fill up. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do owner.board.select tiles. And we're going to go ahead and put tiles in there. Right? And then oh, you see it was already here for this one. Did I already have it here? No, I had it for this one on the exit, but not here. Okay. Let's try that and see. There we go. And when I'm moving around, it changes it there. But if I grab him again, funny because I shouldn't be doing that so much. Something strange is going on. Yeah, I already did it and it's not. Let me try it again. See, I'm going around, and I select him. Boom. That's all the spots I can move to. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be out here. So there's a little bit of weirdness there, but 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it should be here 5. But you know, it's because of the hex coordinates. Not I'm using hex coordinates, not tile coordinates. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy. Okay, cool. What time is it? 43. I should get ready to go. Okay, cool. So then in that case, the search is going to have to be changed a little bit. Because let me just see how it's doing it. While check now count equals bigger than 0. And probably what I'll do is I'll reduce check count down to 0 at some point. Start dot distance equals 0. T point plus directions. Ooh. Well, I got all the directions in there. I already kind of thought about that, and I put 6. So it should theoretically check for all 6 directions instead of 4. And I do believe that the directions, I got the right values here. I already did that. Okay. Okay. if next equals null, which is possible, or next dot distance is smaller or equal to t. T is okay. Continue. Okay. If add tile distance, check now. I'll have to play with this a little bit more and get my hands a little dirtier to see what it's doing. But yeah. And then what I'll need to do is I'll need to be able to have a fire event. See the eye here, like that. The fire event is like the buttons, and I have each button associated to a specific number. So I could check if it was like number 1, which could be the A button. Do this. Number B, which is like number 2 or something. Then, you know, cancel this and go back to tile select or something. Like exit type stuff. Right now I could just select it and that's it. That's why once I had it selected earlier, I couldn't get out of it because there's no way to reset it. But I find that a little weird. If I go here, I should be able to move 5 tiles. And the amount of the hex coordinates seem to have been done. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that because this guy's... his range is 5. So I don't know. I do not know. Oh, does it count itself? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe it's counting itself, which I don't really want it to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me try something for fun. Set it to 6. Oh, shit. I clicked by accident. Oh no, I'll start over. Oh, it's because it's detecting my mouse clicks. Yeah, okay. Damn it, I don't know which one it is. Oh, it's this one. I'm going to set him to 6. Then I'm going to go to game. And then I'm going to do this. And then I'll go back here and I'll count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's counting this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But earlier, him, I was able to count to 5 when he was at. So let me try it again without making any changes to the movement. I'll go over here. I'll select him. Right? So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See? I didn't change anything for him. And he can move 5. Well, in a straight line here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one unit in the middle of a flat map. It's pretty big, and this should make a nice clear circle. And wherever it's not quite right, the circle means that in that general direction there's a problem with the coordinate and how I'm calculating the distances. And I'll be able to check which, northeast, north, whatever direction is not right, and make those necessary tweaks. What time is it? Actually, I think I have time for that now. So I'm going to go to board creator. I'm going to clear. I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to resources level, and I'm going to rename this because I kind of like that little funny map. Custom map 1. So that way I'll keep that little map. But if I go to board creator and I just remove this, and I want to do a, is there a fill button? Oh, fill would have been super useful. And I'm going to make it 20 by 20. And I don't want it to be any higher than 1 because I don't want to play around with height. Height will also affect where the characters can go. And I'm going to fill the area like crazy. Whoa, wait a minute. Why did that take so long? Clear. Maybe it was because it was out of view? Yeah, it was. So I'm going to fill this up a lot in the hopes that it kind of gets a good amount of... Okay, good. Not bad, yeah. Good. Maybe I could just grow a couple more there. Just make it a little bit more like... Maybe shrink a couple areas. Ooh, no, that's disgusting. Ah, crap. Grow, 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 like this. And let's go ahead and do 30 by 30, because maybe I could get a little bit of things that are not necessarily even everywhere. That's kind of cool. I'm also wondering how that's going to hit my frame rate, because they all have a mesh collider on them. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I want to get this one here roughly in the center. Coordinates, we'll do 1414. 1414 is probably around here. There, we'll put them on 1414. Good. And then when I go to board creator, save, there we go. That's good. 789 tiles. It's a lot just for that size of a thing. So I'm going to clear this. I'm going to go back to board. Where is the board? Level data. And we're going to take this new one that I just made. And now when I place him, I want to place him at 1414. So the board view is where I place the units. Spawn units. Now I am spawning 3 units, which is fine. I'm going to do level data. Where is it? Point. New point. I'll do new point, but I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to do 1414. And I just want to do one that's going to be walk movement. So I'm just going to bring in that first one there. I don't know if it's going to complain about these other ones. That should theoretically place one guy at 1414. Let's try it and see. Ooh, errors. Okay, good. So let's see here. There he is. Now, oh, now I got to play the game where everything is reversed and doesn't work well. So I can get my cursor on there. Good. Now when I click it, let's see if it's a nice circle. Ah, it's not. So that kind of explains what's going on. If I do a wireframe, some sort of, oh, that won't work. There, that'll work good. So yeah, he should be at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it's not. Obviously, this one is a lot further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he's not really giving me a nice circle of where he can go from 5 units. But that will be for later. So I'm going to go ahead and just end it there and do it later.